Okay, this is a video that's going to be very tough for some people to hear. It's about Kundalini path, madness, and death. Okay. In all the old texts, it says, beware of Kundalini for madness and death. And yes, this is something that can happen. Okay. So this is a difficult one to speak of because everybody thinks that the ego is going to get enlightened. Ego does not get enlightened. And I've talked about this so many times before. And no matter how many times you speak of it, no matter how clear you are on it, when someone gets to that point, they always assume it's going to be something different. Okay? Like I've said before, and I've made no bones about it, in the last life I went crazy. I didn't complete the path. Why? Because that life I was a monk. Okay. Talked to me about doing the chode ceremony, which I thought, oh, this is great, very symbolic, fabulous. Demons come feed on my flesh, symbolic. Okay, no problem. No, it comes very real. Okay. And your mind latches onto it, and literally you can feel your flesh being torn, and you can go crazy. And I went crazy because I was not willing to challenge. I feared the fear more than surrendering to truth and dying into truth. Okay. And when you get to the very last part, you go through the path and you have moments of the quietude and you have that heart expansion and it's all bliss and you think, oh, this is easy, no problem. Well, then the hard part comes. The hard lessons come. Dismantling starts. Okay. And when you get to that very last point, and I have said this time and time and time again, it's terrifying. You don't know whether you're going to be possessed or whether you're going to become utterly extinct. And I'm going to put this in the description. It's pretty good, the one where they had the little Buddha and Keanu Reeves is sitting there and this stuff is coming and all this stuff is coming and that's what happens. And you have to understand, ego is fighting for its life. All its illusion, all its delusion, all the stuff it's carried for so many lifetimes, it will use in fear-based mode to try to get you to step back and not surrender. So if you fear the fear more than you're willing to surrender into that death, into that truth and realization, you can get lost in madness. Not a joke. It's not a game. It's not. You have to want truth more than you fear the fear. There are only so many times you can get the opportunity to surrender. And if you don't surrender and you keep running, the fear is going to keep. It's quantum. Mind is quantum. If you are latched onto the fear, it's going to keep growing and growing and growing. Okay? It's like you see the little Buddha, the fire is coming, the armies are coming, and the last one is Mara. They call Mara the demon, which is actually ego construct, the ego construct, which is going to bring up every fearful thing that it can in order to get you to abdicate, to keep ego. Okay, because it fears its demise. Okay, so there are only one of two ways to go at that point. Either you can continue to fear the fear and wind up in madness, or you can challenge the ego fear and surrender. That's why I said, when you've done all you can do, the only last step is, on the altar of truth I lay myself. Now, this is not a mantra to be said. Okay? People think they can use that as a mantra. Okay? Oh, I just say it and I'll be fine. No. I mean, literally, it's an action. It means that when that fear comes up, that terror, that moment of either you feel like you're going to be possessed or you're going to cease to exist entirely, you have to surrender and want to know truth and just hope that there is a God, hope that there's something that's going to pull you through, because you are lost at that point. Okay. And the more that one buys into the fear, the more lost one becomes. Okay. So I wanted to put this out. This is not a game. The ego is not going to get realized, and I can only take you so far. I can give you the truth of the path. I can give you, this is what happens. Be aware. Invariably, I'll get the thing back. But no, Guruji, you don't understand. I was really going to die. No, I do understand. This is what I'm telling you. Okay. But no, the terror is real. This is what have I not said that? Have I not said it feels like you're going to be possessed or you're going to be utterly extinct? Have I not said that? Have I not said you go through the death? Okay? But then it breaks the illusion. If you keep fearing the illusion more than wanting to know the truth, and you're unwilling to surrender, and you keep fighting for everything you're with to keep and sustain that ego, then you can go mad. You can go mad. It's not a joke. Okay? And again, there's only so far that the guru can take you. They can take you to that point, but you are the one author and finisher of that life. They cannot hold your hand through that time. And again, you have to want truth more than you're going to sustain the fear. You have to surrender in the midst of terror and not run from it. If you think that's easy to do, it's not. Okay? So I'm going to leave this here. But again, don't start a Kundalini path if you want to just get to where your ego is feeling better about itself. Because once this process starts, there is no off switch. Okay? And you can try to BS yourself You can try to BS me, but you cannot BS the process. Okay, you can't. Okay. So again, there's a reason the warnings are out there. It's a very long process. People come in and they think, I'm going to be the one to get it in a year. Okay, I'm going to be enlightened. You are never going to be enlightened. There is no me to be enlightened. That illusion deconstructs. Okay. So if you are intent on keeping this me and you say, oh, I'm so willing to surrender into that death. I've heard that so many times. And then when it starts to get hard, all this backpedaling starts happening. It's too late to backpedal. Okay? Too late to backpedal. So I'm going to leave this here. But I want to put out that warning to people that think realization means you're going to have powers and I'm just going to make my life happy. And it's not what you are thinking it is. Okay? So, this being said, I'm closing this here. Thanks for tuning in. Aho.